Hello YouTube, this is Hunter Surge, here with some Elestrals content. So this is going to be for old format, but I won my locals store regional. First store regional that I've gotten the chance to participate in because these started up after I took my break. And I took down the whole thing. I was only a 6-person store regional. Most store regionals aren't very big. Like I haven't heard of a store regional that's breaks 20 people. 6 people was a bit lower than I was expecting to show up. But the players I was preparing for did show up, so let's get into it. So I was playing Thunderstorm, and we'll get into why I was on Thunderstorm as we go through this. So 3 Funglow, 3 Astrabbit, 2 Champ Titano Strike, 3 Champ Titano Strike, 2 OG Titano Strike, 3 Ampop, 1 Champ Ampop, 3 Werepop, 2 Supercharged Brontoglow, 1 Lycavolt, the original, 1 Arcalith, 1 Champ Lycavoid, 3 Thunderbolt Supercell, 2 Nectar of the Gods, 3 Thunderstorm, 1 Lunar Phase Lunar Eclipse, 3 Gorgon's Gaze, 2 Shield, 2 PTA, and 1 Lunar Phase Full Moon. So fairly light on the counter runes. I can bunch this up more so that I can actually fit in some other stuff here. Yeah, I can fit in some more stuff here. Just all group up together. All right. Yeah, this was the main board. There we go. I thought I can fit it all on 2 lines. And that means we can fit the sideboard down here. So where's the sideboard? Where'd I put it? Here it is. Sideboard was a 3rd copy of Titano Strike, 3 Nobby, 1 Doppelgator, 3 P-Box, 2 Spoiled Fruit, 2 Tsunami, 2 Dense Fog, and a Leviathan. And for the spirits, we had $13 Thunder, 6 Lunar, and 1 Water. So that's the whole thing. All right, why Thunderstorm? Well, going into this store regional, there were 2 players that I needed to prepare for. That like I particularly viewed as threats. One of those was Mr. Payphone, Peyton Finn of the honorary Art Buddies member. I'm still not sure if he's full member or still just honorary. But he is has been jamming Blizz basically all format. And so I knew I needed to be respecting Blizz and the nonsense it can put out. And also, Mr. Y Rebellion of Hermes fame is in my area. So I expected he would be coming down for the store regional, so I needed to prepare for him. And I felt that Thunderstorm was the perfect deck for accounting for both of them. Thunderstorm naturally it has a pretty good matchup into Hermes, since you can just T-Storm away the Hermes, and now their trickeries are offline and all that. And you're just in a good position overall. And like you can use Lycavolt to rip out their attempts to get back into Hermes, all kinds of stuff like that. For Blizz, It's that so Blizz, despite the fact that we call the deck Blizz, um, it is fairly difficult for the deck to actually get into Blizz itself. And outside of Blizz, the deck is like entirely dependent on combat to clear boards and get into a winning position, right? It doesn't really have much in the way of removal. Um, and that's why to me Thunderstorm felt like a really perfect pick. Because like let us there's a ton of ways that this deck is able to just check stat check Blizz, because like they're dependent on like big 7 bodies that can go up to 9 with mountains. Mountains we don't have to worry about too much because we can both overwrite with Supercell or pop it with Thunderstorm. Um, so that's not something we really have to worry about. Um, so really, we're just dealing with the 7s. Um, and for that, if we go Funglow into Brontoglow, Brontoglow is a 9. That is too big for them. And the Amp Up line into Lycavolt represents a 12, which is also too big for them. Post side, so I was running the Rare Pup package, of course, because the Rare Pup package is just extremely strong. It's just going to instantly win me some games. But into Blizz, my plan was actually to side it out. Because my third way of stat checking them is Knobby Doppelgator. Knobby Doppelgator is really good at clearing their boards once if they've already gotten set up. Um, and uh, and Doppelgator turns their 7s into 5s and forces them to crash at best. While the Knobby Doppelgator line was also able to take out 2 of their bodies. Very, very good. Very, very good for us. So yeah, we just have a ton of ways to deal with Blizz's boards, and put them in a position that's really hard to get back from. Lycavolt in particular really contributes to that, because most of the guaranteed comeback maneuvers that Blizz has access to are 2-card combos. And like, of course, your opponent can top deck out of your hand rip. But if you look at your opponent's hand and you go, okay, I see one piece. I see a piece for a 2-piece combo you would need to get back into this game. I'm going to take it out. Or I'm just going to rip apart the 2-piece combo and like hope you don't get that other piece. Titanic Strike, OG Titanic Strike, also very nice for Blizz, because like if they do get up into Blizz, well, we have a pretty good way of clearing the Blizz, because we just go Titanic Strike, cast Thunderstorm, it's gone. Yeah, so that's and Blizz has a fairly low amount of back row, especially back row that matters once you subtract the whiteouts. Which thus made the Thunderstorm lines to clear out back row before going into something like an Amp Up push or a Rare Pup push much, much stronger. My good pal Ash Rabbit, we just need the consistency. Ash Rabbit isn't like super incredible, but like a 5 butt is still a 5 butt, and that does like enough into certain things. Into super fast stuff like Blizz, it's not going to be super helpful. But into like more fair strategies, it's going to be pretty useful. Well enough, and also it contributes to our good turn 1 casts. So we have Ash Rabbit, Champ Titano Strike, and Werepup, which gives us a very healthy 9. So when we go first, we will almost certainly have a good play to be doing on that first turn. We're on 2 Nectar. I wish I could fit in more, but there's just not really space. Frankly, I should not have been running Arclith. Arclith was just not very useful. Arclith is a strong card for sure, but just I was not. It was just I couldn't get good. There was no scenario where I was able to get good value out of Arclith. It wasn't going to Blizz. It can't get over the 7 defenses in Hermes. Like, it's just a bit too small, I think. Without Mount Olympus. And like, it's still a powerful card. But I don't think I should have been running it, to be quite honest. If I were to do this again, I would probably cut the Arclith and one of the supercells, move it to the side or something, to fit in 2 more back row in the main. Because 9 is 7. Sorry, 7 is very low. Like the game plan was to like take over the game quickly with Thunderstorm and go into like a Lycavoid or a Lycavolt and just take over the game. But that's still a very low number of back row, and it was very scary. It was very scary. Nectar helped make up for that by digging for back row, but like it was still very scary to only be on 7. Um, for the Spirit deck, we have this exact 6 mandatory for the Rare Pop package. I have 1 water in main because like if I'm siding water for Tsunamis anyways, the Spirit math is not tight at all, so I'm just gonna run 1 in main. So that if I'm in a scenario where I want Mission Chant with water to beat Tsunami, I have the capacity to. And I don't think there's much else to say about this. Yeah. Pretty much covered everything I wanted to. Yeah, this deck felt really perfect. I lost 1 game all event to Bear Bomb when they blizzarded my Pandora's box. But otherwise I did not drop a game. I had 3 of my 6 wins were games where I went second, turn 1, I open enough thunderstorms to clear out whatever back row my opponent set, and then go for amp up and just hand rip and take over the game. Both games against Blizz were that. Like if Lycavolt resolves against Blizz, it's basically impossible for Blizz to come back into it because the Lycavolt is 12 attack. So even if they get into Ascension, that's not enough to deal with the Lycavolt. And the Lycavolt is just threatening to crack back on them the next turn. If the Lycavolt gets established, they effectively have to get up into Blizz to actually deal with it. And with Lycavolt ripping cards out of their hand, it's basically impossible for them to do that. And like both games, it was just like, okay, turn 1, I established Lycavolt, rip a card out of your hand. I know it's in your hand now. And like now I just completely run away with the game. Like regardless of how much I had to spend to get here, I just completely take over the game here. Because like you don't really have the capacity to get back in after a Lycavolt has connected. Just won the game on the spot, both games. Crazy card. I don't quite like hand rip existing, but I will abuse it while we have it. Yeah. I don't have many qualifying points, to be clear. Probably won't be making worlds. I only had 70 before this. So winning the 75 here puts me to 145. I kind of wish I didn't go to the Vanguard Regionals in Vancouver because because there was another store regional in my province that I could have gone to that weekend. And if I did, I feel pretty confident in my ability to qualify. Like even the top 4, 35 points puts me to 175, and that's only 50 points I need to make. So like a top 16 and a top 32 in the next premiere gets me there. Like just a lot more comfortable. 80 points is awkward. 80 points is really awkward because double top 16 doesn't get me there. Top 8 into top 32 doesn't get me there. Like 80 points with this little time left in the season is a very awkward number of points to try and make up. But we will be attempting it. We will be trying our best to get there in these last 2 premieres. But I am going to have to perform pretty well. Like I think the worst I can perform is I need like top 8 into top 16. Of course, if in one of them I do like really well, like get like top 4, then the other one can be top 32 and I'm fine. But I do need to perform quite well in these next 2 premieres if I want to qualify. But we'll see what happens. With that said, this is going to be Hunter Search signing off.